Thank you for having us. So I'll try to go as quickly as we can. I know we're running tight on time. So we're going to be talking about the Lifebanc 0.01K Good Made Easy integrated campaign and how it all started out. Every year, Marcus Thomas likes to have one pro bono account. And it just so happened that at the end of 2012, Lifebanc submitted an RFP for an ad campaign with a very small budget, by the way. And the ad campaign objective was to increase organ donor registration and organ donor awareness. Since organ donation is near and dear to one of our partners, Joanne Kim, and probably because Lifebanc is about 500 feet away from our office, Joanne said, look, call off the pitch, put aside what small budget you have for paid media, and we'll do it for free. So that was great. You know, we were really excited about it. We thought, you know, it's pro bono. You have more opportunity to do, you know, you just have unlimited creative ideas and freedom. And so our creative team was really excited. But initially, I'm thinking, all right, how are we going to promote organ donation? It's kind of a sensitive topic for some people. You're donating a part of your body. You know, is this going to be a gory campaign? How can we make this sexy? So, you know, I have all confidence in my creative team, but I also wanted to make sure that I provided them with all the mandatory guidelines, such as, you know, here's the brand tone that we have to have, and here's the data that we got from the Ohio BMV, which partners with Lifebanc. So from then on, we kind of just went at it.
So then it turned over to me and our strategic services team, and we looked at all the data that Carly had passed on, and we took a look at this challenge. How do you make somebody motivated to donate a part of their body? You know, it's a very serious topic. It's in the past been treated as a very weighty thing. So how do we make something that's so weighty and so conflicting in many ways, how do we make someone just check the box and say yes? So we took a unique approach to this, and it was inspired a lot by the macro trend that's out there right now with, you know, little things all adding up together to make an impact on the world. So everyday activism, and you see that coming into play in all sorts of ways. You know, when you go to purchase something at a local retailer, at the counter, they ask you if you want to donate $1 to Cancer Society, or, you know, little contributions here and there. So we kind of took that idea and revolutionized it for our campaign. But, you know, how do we make something that big of a decision seem easy? Well, then we played in the door in the face theory. So a while back there was a study where if you ask for something big, you're bound to get an answer of no. Well, if you ask for that something big first and then follow it up with a small, really manageable task, you're 3 times more likely to say yes to that second task. So then we turned it over to our creative team to set that situation up.
The line "Good Made Easy" came first, and we knew based on that platform we could come up with a bunch of ideas. We thought it was a pretty solid creative platform for them. We also liked the idea of everyday activism, and the target was millennials and college students. And we knew they're always looking to make the world a better place, but not all of them have the time to join AmeriCorps or donate a year of their life to do something with a high level of commitment. And the art director happened to be a runner, and he knew that cause marketing and running, they kind of go hand in hand. So one day in the kitchen, he just blurts out, well, how about a 1K race? And, you know, we thought that was funny, and then we're like, well, wait a minute, a 1K actually is kind of long. That's too long of a race, because checking a box is so easy. It has to be even easier than that. So that's how we settled on the 0.01K, which is actually about 30 feet. It's the perfect length of a race to symbolize how easy becoming an organ donor can be. And we weren't sure how we were going to execute this. We thought, is it a big event that we try to get every college kid to do? You know, what does it look like? We settled on this booth that you could set up and complete the race right in front of this booth. There was a starting line and a finish line, and there were volunteers there. And as the kids ran, they would ring bells just like a marathon and make a bunch of noise, and they only had to run 30 feet. And if you completed the race, you got, this is my favorite little tchotchke. It's the proper water bottle for a race that's 30 feet long. And other stuff like a sweatband. Obviously, you're not going to sweat, so I mean, they thought it was funny. So if you and then we also had this cornhole board. Of course, it had to be super easy since Good Made Easy was our theme. So if you were bad at this, you clearly had too many drinks on campus that day.
Some other
And, yeah,
examples.
here's more of our kind of swag that you got for doing the race. And then we promoted it with posters. We would put them up on campus. So we just kind of used, you know, the difficulty of running as a platform for some of the humor in these lines. And this was, some of these were hard to get the client to buy off on. Not particularly this one, but a couple more. This one, KSU had a problem with this. They had kind of an inflated opinion of their cafeteria food, but I went there and I had issues with it. So, but we still got this one through. This one was a tough sell, but runners do some weird things. I'm telling you. And I had confirmation from some of the runners at Marcus Thomas that yes, they will do this, and among a lot of weird things. So there was a lot of, you know, stuff that you could play around with. Okay, I think, is there any more? Let's see, what else?
That's it.
So that's pretty much it. You know, by creating the world's shortest race, we demonstrated how easy it was to be an organ donor. And that was our goal.
So like Kevin said, to bring this idea to life, we reached out to 4 universities in Northeast Ohio, and that was a long process. It was very challenging, kind of trying to recruit student organizations that best aligned with Lifebanc's vision, such as student nursing associations, Public Health Alliance. We even did PRSSA, but we thought, you know, with the small budget we have, we're going to have the students put this together. We're going to have them execute it. They're going to do pre-event promotion. They're going to do everything for us. But the success is just determined based on how much traffic they can bring to the booth. So I walked them through pre-event promotions such as hanging up the posters. You're going to promote this via Twitter and Facebook using hashtag GoodMadeEasy. And you're going to chalk the sidewalks. I talked about the whole event logistics with them. And the most importantly were the talking points about organ donation. Because if you had people come to your booth and they wanted to sign up and they had questions, you have to be well versed in talking about organ donation and kind of debunk some of those myths. So, and the students also had an incentive, $500 cash prize to the organization that brought in the most valid organ donor registrants. So it was a good way to kind of get them to pay attention to me. And it's a video that we put together. This best sums up the campaign. everybody.
That's it.
Oh, sorry, questions, sorry.
It's actually a question for you, Carly.
Okay.
How did you sell your client on some of those kind of out-of-the-box ideas?
So I'm trying to think the best way to, well, I did have to push a lot of it, but because I had my creative team yelling in my ear that, in a good way, saying, you got to push it, and it's just a lot of telling them, you're going to get good results. I mean, these are students. You're not, pitching to drive, old people, I guess. I
The
don't want
the partners pushed for it.
That,
That's
and a lot
Joanne-
of it was resetting their audience a little bit, because traditionally their audience was, 40-year-old, 50-year-old, 60-year-old. So looking at a millennial audience was definitely new to them, and they needed to get a little bit more of that guidance on what kinds of things matter to millennials these days, and bring in that idea of doing good in little ways.
And I also think the trust and the relationship that I built with the client, after a while, she said, do whatever you got to do. Yeah.
Oh, thanks
Thank you very much.
Thank you.